performance too much. So it can't make me like a sexless, listless, depressed person, which a lot of things that extend lifespan do. Like really, really extended caloric restriction, like, yeah, have fun with that. You'll
in her arms. Hunger is a listless din of apathy, bred of weakness, the faded brown and gray of dead leaves after autumn has ebbed.
Severe pain, vomiting, or if your child is listless or not responsive. And it's important to be extra vigilant with newborns.
Any temperature over 100.4.
And it's interesting that Democrats so far have been a little listless in fighting against this tax plan. You certainly don't see the same kind of passion that you saw when it came to health care. Is that because it's harder to rail against something that is going to save a lot of people money?
I think so, and you're not taking
became listless, pale, started having fevers and easy bruising. And Greta was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, a very aggressive form of leukemia when it affects babies.
Taco. They're soft, listless, and don't have much flavor at all. So why ruin a perfectly good burrito with the fries' unpleasant texture and utter lack of taste?
Without Franz Joseph's input, the empire began a period of listless drifting known as Fortschrittstein. While
and settled into a kind of listless slump like a teenager having an extended sulk. Locked away in his comfy prison, the one-time ruler of Europe lost his extraordinary edge. He became
And even when she wasn't sick, she would be listless and sad. There were good days, days when she would play the piano for him and play hide and seek around the compound. Or he'd sit on her lap on the sofa out on the veranda and...
But it makes him feel tired, weak and listless. His lack of energy and enthusiasm has put a strain on his long-term relationship, and he's become irritable and withdrawn.
When my partner and I split, I was listless. I kept trying to avoid processing my feelings. I would seek out anyone and everyone I could to avoid being alone, but it only made the problem worse.
In response, cells grow listless and metabolism slows. People with hypothyroidism see symptoms in weight gain, sluggishness, sensitivity to cold, swollen joints, and feeling low. Luckily,
our children listless on tenement floors, their coverings prickling with insect filth and a grit of ambient sounds, incessant scuttlings and winged scurryings inside squalid floors and walls. We sensed a slow collapse.
The sea stars become listless, the disease spreads out over them, they die, and they just kind of develop into ooze, waste away.
That we bewail our cold and listless and heartless prayers. The poverty of our own prayers adds sin to sin. And if we were to hope in our prayers, we would be without hope.